So welcome, everybody. So glad you're all here. This is a meeting about there's just what is, just what's happening, just this. And that everything is already it. Everything, including seeking, not seeking, thinking, is it? Not thinking, is it? Frustration, peace. Everything is it already. So the pain and the pleasure are both it. The confusion and the clarity, both it. Having a question, is it? Not having a question, also it. Feeling tired is just this. All is this. This is such a simple message, it can't be understood. All is this, nothing to understand, because it's even the understanding or the confusion and feeling like I don't understand is also this. So it's just this speaking, just this listening, just this agreeing, just this not agreeing, just this feeling neutral. Um, so yeah, there is no escape from just this. But just this doesn't tell you anything. And that's the problem for the me, is it's still trying to understand. But emptiness, nothing, awakening, enlightenment, everything, that those are all just words. And those are this too. Those words are this too, but those words don't tell you anything. They don't tell you what this is, but they are this. So every sound, every feeling, every thought, it's not you, it's this. No separation. not two. So all borders, all separation is imagined. And the imagining is this too. So even if it imagines it's separate, I mean, that's quite some freedom. It's so free, it could imagine bondage. That's how free. And that doesn't even touch this. Like, it doesn't know bondage. You could say all is this doesn't know anything. And that's the problem for the me, is the me knows something. Even if it's just that I exist. And so that energetic contraction can loosen when come to a meeting like this. There can just be this lovely resonance with the sharing, like a wordless, almost like hearing a song that you like. I mean, I guess if the song had a name, you could call it the Song of Emptiness. But that is undivided emptiness. So the emptiness isn't just here or with Nkosi or with it's undivided. The emptiness is everything. Everything is emptiness. And that's the problem for me, is it's not empty, it's solid. Feels real. It doesn't feel empty. So this is an open meeting. Everybody's invited to participate. If you have a comment, question, really anything, feel free to unmute and jump in.
When you say it's like a lullaby, Michael, oh, sorry, when you say it's like a song, I've always thought listening to Kosi is like a lullaby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, here too.
Yeah.
It did, like, and you've said this, Faith. It really almost doesn't matter what he says.
No. Well, he's repeating himself a lot of the time.
Yeah, because it's not about the words.
Well, I just sort of think it needs to, but I also think it needs to be repeated because
Yeah,
because we've had, so many years of indoctrination of the opposite kind.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's like I was saying last week. I was saying, when I used to be a seeker, kind of the mantra in the self-help field was, if you want to be rich, hang around rich people. And, I suggested if this is of there's a resonance, spend time with Nkosi. I have hundreds of videos uploaded of him that are gold, even some to really beautiful music where he's just speaking, no video. The sessions with Alice are so beautiful. And you're absolutely right, Faith. There was something here that no longer, like, this is a story, but it really felt like waving the white flag. Like, when you surrender, but I mean, really, like, like you're on a battlefield And like, you got to make sure that white flat, you're serious because you mean it. It's like, it wasn't like I didn't try. I tried everything. It's just somehow here's something, it just didn't work. Nothing actually worked.
Mm. Yeah, I spoke to a girlfriend. I mentioned a couple of non-dual statements to her because she's been suffering, and she said to me after a while, she said, I'm really trying to get the non-dual message. And I thought, oh shit. So trying won't get you there.
That's so funny. Yeah, I was telling Ere and Rigo, we were messaging, and I said, I probably tried to read I Am That 25 times during my seeking, and my brain would glaze over with spiritual concepts. And I'll tell you, the distinctive feature was I remember how badly, how earnest that Michael seeker wanted the truth.
Hmm. But that's like going down the wrong road, isn't it? It's like going the opposite direction from
You
from
can't
where.
help it. There's nobody doing it already.
Yeah, true.
So if seeking's arising, seeking's arising. That's just
Yeah.
this. Arising is seeking, but it's not yours.
Yeah. Yeah, I woke up this morning thinking with a little, with a sentence in my head that went, I'll be happy when. I think that sums up how I've lived my life. How I've lived my life. I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when that happens. I'll be happy when that. I thought, I'll be happy when is bullshit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm not going to be happy when.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Faith. You just put into words what was felt here.
Yeah.
Nothing, the girl, the money, the house, the car, the status, the prestige, nothing.
The health, when I get over this health issue, all of it. I'll be happy when the neighbour stops being noisy. That's the addiction, isn't it? That's the hamster wheel.
Yeah, but nobody's doing it.
Mm. But it's happening. Or appear.
Well, I mean, you could, yes, okay, so right now, definitely this is happening, right? I mean, we could see there's Faith and Leighton and Dawn and Dan and Regina, right? I could see everyone. Okay, but now where is that?
Mm. Well, that's the wonder of it, isn't it? That's the beauty of it. Mm. That's the freedom.
Yeah, it's just the simplicity of the desk, the computer, the walls, the voice, your body, sounds, the sky, birds, rain, all of it. Like no separation's not an intellectual exercise. You can't like talk yourself into there being, because it feels like there is separation. So just repeating, there's no, but when it's actually, I'll just say like felt, like bodily felt that there's no separation, like that energetic contraction begins to loosen and there's like a relaxation.
Mm.
Yeah, Michael, but that sounds a little bit like, well, I'll be happy when there's a relaxation. And like Faith, you were saying, I woke up and I thought, well, I'll be happy. No, you didn't think I'll be happy when. That I'll be happy when is the seeking energy. That's just that appearing. It's not you.
Yeah, right. Thanks,
Don't
Dan.
have anything to do with that. That's
Yeah,
wait, that's the yeah.
yeah, thanks. That's the freedom, that it had nothing to do with me.
Yeah, right here, right now. It has nothing to do with you. You're not connected to it. You're not attached to it. You're here. That seeking energy is appearing, however, I don't know where. It's yeah, it's saying I'll be happy when, and it's looking to the future. It's like a little like a mouse looking for some cheese, that's in the future. But that's never you. That is
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
and so where, so you're referring to a you. That's something different than this is just, seeking. Everything is just seeking. So what's this you that you're referring to?
Yeah, good question, Don. I think it can't be explained. We keep trying, but we use this word you. Who you? Okay, I would just try to say. I'm trying to point to. I mean, like Faith. I think she saw. She knows, and too. There's a you that is not this idea of the one who's in time, who has a story and is looking for and feels this energy. Yeah, we can't there. I don't know. We can't explain it in words. But
But
yeah,
that's this. That's
yeah,
not separate. That's everything you just said there. That's this too.
right. Yeah.
So
Well, okay, but this is not looking for something else. Although it is also, right? Because it's the appearance of it. That's why we can't, you can't explain it. You can because it's
so
go ahead.
it's like, as Faith was saying, I'll be happy when, and I totally get that. I've lived my life out of that. So, but I will be happy when is everything as that. So there should be freedom, talking about the freedom in the thought. If you have a thought, or say you have thought, I will be happy when.
Yeah.
That should be cause for great joy, that thought and that attitude, because that is this, or this is that.
Yeah, but Don, everything is
It's this right here.
everything is this already.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I was talking.
Everything is
Right.
this already.
Right. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what is said, what's not
Right.
said.
Uh,
Speaking can happen. That's this. Speaking could, arguing, disagreeing could happen. It's still just this. See, for me, there's always a reason. This doesn't have a reason. That's why it's so free. If it had a reason, it wouldn't be free.
Doesn't have a reason, and it doesn't have any knowledge of what it is or what anything is, where it's going and what it's going to be in some other time, some other thing. It's just this is all the information, everything is right here. There isn't anything else. Never been anything other than this. And this is what all the fuss is about.
So the imagination also isn't yours. And the me tends to live in what it thinks is my imagination. It's just imagination. It's not.
Right, Michael, and when you say it isn't yours, right? So there's that question that Don asked, what do you mean by yours? You know, it's like, who is that you? How is it different than what is? But the point is, there isn't any yours. Yours is an imagination. Yours is a concept, it's an idea, it's a made up thing that isn't this. I mean, even though there isn't anything that isn't this, that's the paradoxical thing. We can't get out of that. This is we're using language and we're talking. So yeah, but there isn't any yours. That's the thing. There isn't any yours that's separate from everything that is. It's only a story. Yours is a story. And this isn't just a story. That's the thing. It is a story, and the story is what is. But there's this. I mean, I don't know. We have this word aliveness, energy, whatever. This, it's not a story. It's what is. It has no name and no form and no anything. No one knows about it. But it's not yours.
Like sound. Nobody owns sound.
You are not yours. That's the whole point.
You are not yours.
Yeah. The yours is the story business. The thing that knows what it is, knows what it needs, knows what it's going, where it's going, what it has to do, what it will get if I do it right, whatever, all that stuff.
Right. But that exact feeling of separation of me isn't you. You're not doing even that.
Yeah, so the feeling of separation is this too.
Yes.
This just seems so totally inclusive,
Yeah,
like totally inclusive.
you got it.
Everything.
Exactly. Well, that was that, Don, exactly that word, inclusive, was how I described when Nkosi wrote his comment on my post when he said, whether there's a me there or not, this doesn't mind, because all is this already. I thought, well, that's inclusive, whether there's a me or not. Like, who cares if there's a me there except a me?
And me is just a story of something else, something that's not included. Some, it's like an imagining something outside of what everything is. It's just a total fantasy. And isn't that weird that there could be a fantasy of something besides what is? How can you explain that?
Exactly. Yeah, this can't be explained, and that's what the me wants, is explanations, answers, information, knowledge. Tell me what's going on here.
So the fantasy is asking about the fantasy and wanting to know about the fantasy.
The
And that,
fantasy asking about the fantasy.
yeah, that's the hamster wheel. That's why it keeps going on and on.
Which is this too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Want to make sure I include that hamster wheel as everything that is.
Yeah, don't leave the hamster wheel out.
Yeah, well, there's no one in the wheel, so yeah.
And if there's a sense of somebody being there in the wheel, that's just this too.
Well, there's very much a feeling of it being in the wheel. We all know that.
But that feeling of being in the wheel isn't you. That's this appearing as feeling stuck in a wheel.
Because there is no you. If there was a you, maybe it could be you, but there isn't.
Michael, the way I describe it is there's no experiencer, there's only experience. There's no seer, there's only seeing. And you are the longing, you are the desire, you are the confusion, you are the needer of clarification. That the longing is you. You're not you longing. There's only verbs here. There's no nouns. There are no objects. We define the objects into existence, like the Big Dipper. Oh, there's a Big Dipper. There's no Big Dipper. Those are imaginary lines around stars. Texas. There's no Texas. Texas is lines on a map. And then we call it Texas. It's a post-it in the sky. and we grab it and we define it into existence. But it's all just stuff. It's just quantum soup. And we're trying to get a footing. And, we're trying to finds ground, and there's no ground. It's just groundlessness.
Yeah.
And we can grasp and grasp, but we are the grasping.
Yes.
We are the clinging. There's no we are clinging. The clinging is us.
Yes.
We are the experience, not the experiencer. And the duality and language, have muddled this up very badly. But here we are, and
Well, that's
here
this. That's this too.
Yeah, exactly.
The muddled, confusing language.
Yeah, this confusion, the sadness. We aren't sad. There's just sadness, and even that we're defining into existence. What is that? Show me sadness. It's just a thought stream.
Right, but nobody's defining that into existence.
Yeah, exactly. We do it now with the word does it, but
It's
look who's here.
It's just but it's just what's happening. No, nobody's doing it.
The words are doing everything. There's no one here.
Yeah. These words just appear out of nowhere. Your words, Jay, just are appearing right now spontaneously. Nobody's doing them.
So the words are guilty. If there's anyone guilty, it's just the words. Everything else is innocence.
Let's put the words on trial.
Well, the Bible says in the beginning was the word.
Yeah.
And that's we were in the Garden of Eden, and in the beginning was the word. Boom.
Yeah.
And we there's good and bad, and that's where all the trouble starts.
Because there's no beginning here.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not beginning. Yeah. Beginning is the beginning of a story. That's this word story we're always talking about. That's what happens when it begins. You begin a story. But this isn't a story.
Oh, you mean, Dan, once upon a time.
Yeah.
Hey, Nkosi, welcome.
Hi, Michael. Hello, everyone.
I don't know if this is relevant, but I thought it was interesting that my granddaughter has gone. She's gone from Australia to Japan, so she's somewhere close to Tokyo, and I have an app on my phone that I can look at, and it'll show me where she is. So I looked at it, and the phone told me she was in Atsugi. So, okay, I was all right with that. But then the next day, I think, I had a look at the app, and it told me in Japanese. Didn't tell me Atsugi in words that I could understand. It had all these symbols, Japanese symbols. And I thought, shit, I don't know where she is. And I thought maybe it's like what we talk about when we talk about there not being time and, there not being a place. The place is just what you want to name it. You can name it Atsugi, but you can also name it with these squiggles. So
yeah, nobody's doing that, Faith. That was just what seemed to be happening, but maybe Nkosi has a few words for us.
Yeah, it's just what's happening, and nobody's doing anything. Nobody's thinking anything. Thinking happens, listening happens, waiting, expecting. There's no one behind any of that. It's just what seems to happen, and there's no doer. Even what seems to be the doer It's just what seems to be happening. There's no real doer, you know, or I should say it's just this appearing as that. So there is no escape. There is no escape. Anything may arise, question, wondering, thinking, analyzing. It's beautiful because there's nobody behind that, any of that. Even when it seems as if there's somebody, that's just what's happening. And this what is. Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say that what struck me about the Atsugi and then it being in Japanese was that, like, you sometimes say, look, you can call it God, you can call it a squirrel, you could call it a mouse, whatever. And I thought that's a bit like me looking on the map, you know, you can call it Atsugi or you can call it some other word that you can't even read. And it's not there anyway. But when we use words, we put those labels on things, you know. But really there's no labels to be put. But different people put different labels on the same thing, or if the thing exists. I don't know. That was just, I just thought it was more like what you speak of when you say you can call it anything.
Yeah, it's neutral, you know.
Mm.
So that's neutrality. Yeah, so it really doesn't mind, you know. You can call it any name.
Mm.
You know, it doesn't get offended.
Mm.
Takes no offense. It's just this. It's nothing, really, being everything. Because it's not separate. There is nobody outside of it. Even to be offended, even to know it, even to get it, even to understand it, because it's already everything. So even those who seem to be giving names is just also it's appearing as that. So it's there's no escape. Thinking about it is just already disappearing as that.
Mm.
Thinking, no thinking, smiling, no smiling, getting angry, getting happy. It's already this. It's not personal, and there's nobody behind any of that who's doing it. There's no doer. There is no separate doer already. Even in the midst of what seems to be a doer doing something, that's just what's happening. There's no real doer. It's just already everything appearing as that. So there's no journey. There's no real journey. There's nowhere to get to. There's really nothing to be done. There's just simply what is this. And this is already timeless. This is already empty. This is already everything. This is already what is being longed for.
So Faith, if you want to find your granddaughter, you have to look everywhere. You have to, because she's only everywhere, right? She's not in a specific place on a map.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of it like that.
Never find her, except everywhere, which is where
Yeah.
you are, where she is, where everything is.
So, and Kosi, can this be going somewhere? Just this?
It's not going anywhere. But in the story, it may seem as if there's somebody who thinks that this is going somewhere. But that's this too appearing as that. That's imagined by no one.
But Don, you keep asking questions, and when you ask the question, you're just going to get words back. So the real answer to the question that you keep asking doesn't have words. It doesn't have an answer in words. And I know you know that.
Yeah, I do, but the way I look at it is that this is asking, or asking is happening here, and listening is happening over there, and the listening is responding to the asking. And I mean, I see that sort of like as the resonance that we talk about. And so that I notice when I ask, and or when asking happens and the response happens, something happens. Or it's I mean, I don't know, you know what, yeah, beautiful. I mean, I love, like, what is happening right now? Because it's clear to me there's nothing happening outside of what's happening, or at least here. I mean, there, you know, it feels good on a me level. It feels nice. That's this too, right? I like that.
Yeah, even when there's enjoyment happening, it's just disappearing as that. This enjoying, this not enjoying, this thinking, this not thinking, you know, everything is this. So, and it doesn't mind. It really doesn't mind. There are no different parts. It's just everything. Somehow the words, if the words are spoken, sometimes they may seem to be like meaningless. You know, they may be seen as just concepts. Like when you have to say, this is spaciousness, this is God. These words are just concepts because this is already wordless. This can't be spoken already. This can't be said. It's there is no real description. This can't be described. And there is no doer behind anything. What seems to be a separate self will never collapse, because the separate self doesn't exist already. There's really nothing to collapse. There's really nothing to fall away. There's simply what is this. You're already not there to know this. And there's no one here who knows this. There is no there, there's no here, there's just this, everything. There's really nothing to know. There's really nothing to get. And there's nobody to get anything. There's just this, what is. There's no parts. There's no why. There's just this. This is not a man or a woman. This is not a story. It's not a human being. Yet it may appear as a story, may appear as somebody, but as it is, it's just nothing, no thing appearing as everything. There is already no thinker of thoughts. Thoughts are simply appearing from nothing and disappearing. There is no decision taker already. There is no journey. There are no steps. And no one here to know this. Yeah, that's what's coming up here. Yeah.
Mhm. Any last comments or questions before we close out this evening?
I have a question. Uh, you know, this was going around Facebook, I don't know, a few days ago or something about this. What is this? You know, it's a word. This is a word, but it's pointing to, could you also say this alive, just aliveness or just energy, or because this is a word that is separate from that, let's say, but it's a word, this, and it's a description, but would another word be aliveness, just aliveness, or energy, or life force, or I don't know. Nkosi, could you answer that, please?
This as it is already wordless, but words may seem to appear. You know, you can call it aliveness, boundless energy, spaciousness. It doesn't really matter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah, thank you.
Same thing, nothing.
Yeah, this doesn't mind what you call it, because the one calling it is this already. Thank you guys, to each and every one of you for coming. Nkosi, no words. Good
Thank
night,
you, everybody.
everybody.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.